This is the Warminster Town Supporter Podcast, and I'm your host, Roland Millward. Coming up in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about how you can help Warminster Town Football Club using your camera or your smartphone. Photographs are important to the club, and also is our use of social media. So stay tuned later for how you can use both to help us out. But before we do that, let's take our 7-day review along with Mr. Jamie House, what's been happening at Warminster Town Football Club and what's happening in the near future. Coming up next. Good evening, Jamie. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. You?
Good. Yeah, not bad at all. Thank you. Busy working away, as they say, but that's it. Right, back to football, though. Let's talk about Warminster Town versus Longwell Green Sports that we just witnessed on Saturday. Your thoughts on the game, please, Jamie?
Poor, I think is probably a good way of putting it. It was a really bad day in the office for us. Going 2-0 down in the first 7 minutes, I think probably did for us, for the rest of the game. I don't think... we started to get our rhythm a little bit towards the end of the first half. They had a man sent off as well, obviously, just at the end of the first half. And then second half, even against 10 men, we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. We had a few chances, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And then obviously a goalkeeping blunder with about 20 minutes to go. And made it 3. So not a good day all round. Really, it's hard to believe it. We were watching the same team that gave a Premier Division side the runaround for 70 minutes the week before, really.
So I don't know. Everybody keeps stats on this thing, but it must be one of the fastest goals scored at Weymouth Street. And it's about the 22nd mark, really, not much more.
I was going to say it was only a few seconds on the clock, 30 at most. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was under 30.
It was under 30. Wow.
Yeah. You just couldn't believe that. I mean, it's just a throw in. Through the gut to one of the attackers on the left, back to the guy who took the throw in, crossed it, boom, in the box, bang in the back of the net. Very, very quick. But you thought, okay, one of those things, let's recover from that. But then a few minutes later, that 7th minute, another one in the back of the net.
Yeah.
You could kind of see him coming, couldn't you? That was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it stayed at that, as you say, but didn't really show anything performance that we did at Bitton, which is bitter disappointment, really.
Very, very disappointing. I mean, it kind of sums up our home form in the league as a whole, really. I mean, I don't know. I haven't counted how many games we've actually played at home so far this season in the league, but we've only won 3 of them, and we've lost all the others. So
disappointment Sunday, really. On those games. So I'm sure Andy's got his finger on the pulse, and we know he has, and he'll be working on getting that sorted out in the near future. Of course, we have got another game coming up now. Bristol Telephones has been postponed this week. That would have been our evening game, so we're back to Saturday football. A little trip down to Wincanton, and we've actually lost at home to these guys already back in October the 26th. We lost 1-0 to them.
Yes.
So probably similar form, really, although they haven't played their last 2 games. They've been postponed, so they're lacking football fitness, but maybe they're very rested.
Well, yeah, quite. I mean, they're very rested. I mean, they haven't played for about a month now. It's the last game they played was back in December, so it's it's a crazy amount of time to go without playing.
Yeah,
even any cup games. So
yeah, absolutely. So there are a couple of places above us in the table. Do you want to run through the table, see how it looks, and then we'll have a little think about that game as well then?
Sure. We've got Longwell Green, obviously, who beat us this weekend, still at the top of the league. They've had quite a turnaround, actually, this season, because I believe they were quite low down in the league. I think they finished last year. Don't take my word for that. Actually, I can find out here. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. They were 5th. Sorry, I thought they were lower than that. They ended up 5th last season, so they were in the top half of the table. So they were just above us, finished just above us last season. But they are top of the league at the moment. And then we have Calne Town behind them, just 1 point behind them, and they've also got a game in hand as well. Wells City are third, Sherborne are fourth, and Ashton and Backwell round out the top five. At the bottom of the league, we've got the Phones, obviously, are still at the bottom there. Bishop Sutton are just above them, then Devizes, Almondsbury and Portishead round out the bottom five. Warminster are still 11th, just clinging on in there. And around us, we've got Bishop's Lydeard are just below us. Oldland Abertonians are just above us. And Wincanton are 9th at the moment, the team we're playing at the weekend. And they are only a point ahead of us. In fact, I think the next two teams above us are only a point, only have a point on us.
But have you noticed Wincanton's games in hand over Warminster?
Yes, 5. And Oldland have 2 and Bishop's Lydeard have 3.
as we mentioned, that Wincanton don't seem to have played much football. So with 5 games, if they won 5 games and got 15 points, that would put them on 41, would it? Yes.
Yeah, because it'd be quite a long way up the league. I mean, earlier on in the season, I believe they were top of the league. So
not that I expect them to win 5, because their form wouldn't indicate that. But it just shows how many games in hand they've got and what the power of that would actually be if it was turned into wins. So and Radstock's another team actually. They're 6th, but they've only played 16 games as well. So
they've been on quite a good run this
season. They could be on a good run. They could be challenging to the very top of that league as well if they put some of those into a 3-pointer situation.
Yeah, they've certainly turned their form around from last season. They ended up 15th last season, so they've had quite a turnaround this season.
Well, we can look forward to the game down at Wincanton. Hopefully it won't be another postponement for them, because we would like to get a game in on Saturday, and
yes, absolutely.
The sunny weather we've had might have helped a little bit to make sure pitches are a little bit better condition. What's your thoughts on the game down at Wincanton? Do you think we can get a 3-pointer down there?
I would like to hope so. Our form against the sort of teams around us hasn't been great, but we have got a better away record than home record so far this season, in the league at least, anyway. So anything's possible. I would certainly hope so.
And the team's got something to prove again now, and having lost on Saturday with a performance like that, you've got to try and raise the game a little bit, and hopefully they will, and we'll do well down there. So all looking good. So for a trip down to Wincanton, you'll be joining me, I hope.
Hopefully, I think so. Yeah.
Jolly good. Yes, we'll be bringing everybody the game live on Periscope and Twitter. So please stay tuned, everyone, for that. And of course, we mentioned Wells City are quite near to the top of the table, aren't we? They're in 3rd place, as you mentioned, and they'll be at Warminster the following Saturday. So a home game coming up on February the 1st. That will be new month.
Yeah.
And let's see how we do against that team as well. So lots of things going on league-wise, and lots of points still to play for. So we'll obviously talk about those games as we get closer to them, and then review them afterwards. So thanks, Jamie, for your time once again.
You're very welcome.
And I'll see you on Saturday. Take care. Once again, my thanks go to Jamie for joining us here on our podcast. But coming up now, we'd like to talk about how you can help us with your camera or the camera that's built into your phone. Stay tuned. Have a listen to this. Now, many people appreciate seeing photographs of Warminster Town in action. It's also good to have those sort of candid shots around the ground of the clubs that we visit, their clubhouses, their facilities, what the pitch looks like, the stands. All of those things can be encompassed in photographs. Now, we're very used to seeing photographs taken by our very own Scott Drysdale, and we're taking nothing away from Scott. We want to keep him taking those pictures. But of course, he is tied up, so his photos are always taken from the dugout. But many of our fans are around the ground and could be closer to the action. Now, if you've got a separate camera, fantastic. If not, you can use your smartphone to take photographs. And they do take excellent pictures. And many of them these days will have a sport mode, which means you can do multiple fire shots and capture the action quite close up. So here's a challenge for everyone. Be ready to take some photographs and to send them through to me, and we'll use them on our Instagram and Facebook page, and we can really utilize more photos that you, the fans, have taken. Now, make sure you only send in photos that you have taken, or if you're sending it on someone's behalf, put their name down and that you have their permission because of copyright laws, of course. So email them to wtfcsupporter@icloud.com. I'll repeat that for you. wtfcsupporter@icloud.com. It'd be great to see some photos. Take as many as you like. And remember, professional photographers are only professional because they throw away the bad pictures. So just choose 1 or 2 pictures if you seem really good, and have captured the action, captured the spirit of the moment. Give us a great ground shot, whatever. Send them through to me, and we'll put them, as time permits and space permits, through our social media channels for people to see. How's that? So I'm looking forward to you raising up to the challenge and meeting it and being able to send in those photographs. And you'll be surprised at how many great shots we're going to get when this happens. Now, what can we do with those photographs? Well, as I've mentioned, we can use them in our social media accounts. So stay tuned now to see how you can help spread the word about Warminster Town Football Club using social media. Coming up now. Well, for a few minutes, I'd like to talk about our social media activity and how you can help find even more people interested in Warminster Town Football Club using social media yourself. Now, hopefully you've already got a Facebook account, perhaps an Instagram account. Facebook owns Instagram, so those two connect very well. And then, of course, there is Twitter. There's this very podcast. This is social media. Periscope, where we transmit our matches live, which is also connected to Twitter. Those two companies are linked together. Twitter owns Periscope. And, of course, we have our website, warminstertownfc.com. Now, what I would like to say is one of the things you can actually do on any of these social media accounts is to like the posts where you can, share them. You've got a share button on most things. You can actually share them. You can recommend friends to follow them and look at them as well. There's buttons for all kinds of things on these various social media sites. They're all slightly different when you look at them, but ultimately they have the same effect on getting more people to know about each of the accounts. Now, Warminster Town players are running the official Warminster Town Twitter account. So that's Warminster TNFC at Warminster TNFC. I'm running WTFC Supporter, and that's the same account for Periscope, WTFC Supporter. So do follow me on there as well if you're not already, because you will be able to watch the matches live. If you can't attend a game or you want to watch a replay, it's on there, left on there for you to be able to do that. At the moment, we can't use YouTube for live broadcasting because they require that we now have 1,000 subscribers. So when we get to that wonderful level, we'll be able to use YouTube, and that will actually give us much better quality video because they do in a much higher density, and therefore you'll see better quality picture. But until we get to that point, we'll be using Periscope and Twitter, which is proving good. We're getting many hundreds of people actually watch the matches. You might be interested to know that the second half of the FA Vars at Bitton had over 700 people watching that live. And as I'm recording this now, over 1,300 people have watched it, including the replays. So it's very popular and people are learning about Warminster Town. We're gaining new fans from across the country. People leave a little comment. Fans from as far away as Hull and Kent and the Midlands and all over, and even Italy, South America as well. So I've had a few in Mexico, yes, had some in America, North America, as in New York and various places have watched our matches and left comments, and across quite a few of the countries in Europe. So as I say, we mentioned Italy. There's also been Poland and other places where we have people that will regularly watch the game. So if we can keep that going, that's also translating into people making journeys and actually coming to matches from quite a distance. They've attended the odd one here and there, which is great. They put in a lot of effort, a lot of expense to come a long way. And locally, people, of course, also are learning about Warminster Town, what great value it is. Wonderful club to come along and watch some football. And our gate attendance is able to be increased because of our social media activity. And the more activity we do through the shares that you make, the better, because even more people will actually see it. So let's do that. When you see a post on Twitter, Facebook, make sure that you share that out. If it's something worth sharing at the time, it's important, a match coming up, share that. Match report, share that, all those sort of things, so that people can find out more about the club. We try to put a lot on the website. That doesn't technically count as social media, but you can share on your social media accounts our website link at warminstertownfc.com, and then people can visit the website. They can see the forthcoming matches and all the various links to our social media and so on there. We'd like to still develop the website a lot more. It takes a lot of time. So if you're up for volunteering on helping out with some content, let me know at wtfcsupporter@icloud.com, and or contact me through Twitter at WTFC Supporter. That'll be absolutely fine. And then we can help grow the club membership, as it were, even more through social media. So see what you can do. If you haven't got an account yet, well, not forcing you to have a social media account. We wouldn't wish to do that. But if you're already on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of these places, please do look us up and subscribe. And so especially on YouTube, where we need that 1,000 subscribers, that is critical to be able to go live on YouTube. So just go to youtube.com, look at Warminster Town Football Club, or go to our website and follow the link through. There's a video on there. You can be able to click through from that video and just make sure you subscribe. And if you also want to notify when a new video goes on, click the little notification bell as well. And especially when we go live, you'll be told straight away every time we go live. Little way off from that yet, but with a big push from yourselves, a lot of sharing and helping out, we can actually achieve that. So thanks very much for all that you do in sharing, all those that have taken part on social media, in commenting, in sharing, in liking. Do all those things a little bit at a time, and that will help Warminster Town become known. Thank you for listening to the Warminster Town Football Club Supporter Podcast. It's great that you've been here, and I do hope that you will subscribe to this podcast, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the future.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.